this is going to be a little topic that one thing is on Comic Vine. Go check them out if you don't know what that is. Comic Vine, very cool site. I wanted to do this because Comic Vine was talking about it, and this is something I've wanted to talk about for a little bit. And this is kind of in par with what one of Mount Vernon Kids' new videos talking about what's next for Bucky Barnes now that Steve Rogers is going to be Captain America again soon, which I don't like. This basically talks about another character who's come back, who's making a comeback in the DC universe. She's been around. It's basically what's next for Cassandra Cain, the second Batgirl. Now, as we all know, she's coming back in Red Robin. Well, she's making an appearance. She made she's appeared in Birds of Prey. She's appeared in Red Robin and Batgirl. And even though we got her in a costume right here, she's not keeping that costume, guys. She's not, Cassandra even said, she even told Stephanie Brown, you're Batgirl now. I'm not. Now, we all know Cassandra Cain's a more experienced. She was probably the best person to take that title of Batgirl and make it her own. But Stephanie Brown, I got to give her a lot of credit of being, the new Batgirl. She's really good at it. She's really good at being a young Batgirl. And even Bruce even told her, you're really good at, you're as good as Barbara Gordon was. Now Cassandra, I'm glad she's out of the Batgirl role, because I think it would be a demotion to her going back to being Batgirl. However, I think she should take on another role. I think she wants to come back to the rest of the Bat family in a way, not like be part of the group, but help them out from time to time. And she's going to help out Tim in this new story arc called Tournament of Assassins, I believe. I believe that's what it's called. She's going to be helping out Tim Drake in there. Actually, this is also brings up a discussion that me and Ziblog Gory had, and we thought, if Cassandra decides to rejoin the Bat family, how about having her as the new Nightwing? Since Dick Grayson has left that role, and I believe that Christopher Kent, when he took on the role of Nightwing for a short time, along with I can't remember her name, but she took on the role of Flamebird. So I think it'd be really cool to see her come back and become a new Nightwing. Her take over the role, Dick Grayson's old role as Nightwing. I think that would be a very cool little thing right there. And it's not the first time a female role has taken over a male's persona. Renee Montoya took over Vic Sage when he died. She took over the roles The Question. Same goes for the new Manhunter. The first one was a guy, and now it's a girl taking over. So yeah, I really think Cassandra Cain could actually hold up the title as Nightwing. Now I can't remember if Christopher Kent is still like the Kryptonian Nightwing. I think he kind of gave up that role after the War of New Krypton stuff, if I remember right. But yeah, I think she would make a great Nightwing. And I think the character of Dick Grayson's former role would be very good, and I think it'd be a cool evolution of her character. Now, you're probably wondering, oh, why can't she go back to being Batgirl? Because, like I said, guys, she's already given up the role as Batgirl. She's given Stephanie Brown the title of Batgirl. She said there is a Batgirl, and Stephanie Brown is that Batgirl. And what's the problem with, her assuming a new role? At least she's going to be part of the Bat family again, and people have always wanted to see Cassandra again, after she left during Batman R.I.P. What? And I don't see a problem with that character evolving. It worked for Tim Drake and he became Red Robin. It worked for Damian Wayne when he became Robin, and it worked for Dick Grayson when he became Batman. I don't see a problem because I really want her to be a part-time member of the Batman family and part of Batman Incorporated, and I think she'd be a really cool Nightwing. So yeah, I think it would be a good transition for her character, and that's really all I had to say for this. But what do you guys think? Do you think what do you think of Cassandra Cain coming back? And do you think she'd be a cool Nightwing, or do you think she should be her own character? You guys tell me below, or video response and all that.